When you're just getting started in building your startup, there's really only two things that matter. One is building your product, and two is getting customers and other people to use your product. Let's first assume that you already have a product you want to work with. Now, your role is to get your first set of customers. I personally have not found the method of first starting to talk to customers before having a product to work. If you go to customers without any idea of what you want to build and you start asking customers about their problems, there's usually two things that always come up: more customers or more money. If your objective is to build a product, I recommend that you get started with an idea in mind. Once you have your idea, let's say in the case of Parker, when we were building a corporate card product and banking products for our customers, you want to start reaching out to those users. I'll explain what I found. The best method to reach out to people you don't know is cold email, outbound campaigns. It's just a very quick way to start getting conversations going. The way I would do it and the way I've always set up my cold emails is I make it very personable and I make it about a founder to founder or person to person type of conversation. So what I use in the subject line is very simple. I use the person's first name and then a handshake emoji and my first name. Then in the body of the text, I personally don't use any fluff, any crazy tactics in the body. I just write a very simple message. And usually my message is this: hi, I am Yacine. I am working on such and such idea. I am working on building this banking product for e-commerce companies. Then I'll give some kind of social proof, backed by Y Combinator, etc. And then I'll say something along the lines of, I'd love to meet you and see if this is a problem that you have and discuss and brainstorm any ideas you might have. Most people reading that email will not respond. However, you'd be surprised that at least 5 to 10% of people, in my experience, will actually respond to an email like that just because they want to be helpful. And that method is going to set the foundation for your initial customer conversations. Now, where do you find those lists? Where do you find how to get emails? Very simple. You can use databases like Apollo, or you can even go on LinkedIn and use tools that will help you find a person's email from their LinkedIn profile. And if you're working on a product, you have an idea of who your customer is, who you want to sell to, you can just use that intuition to figure out who you want to reach out to. I recommend that you make your email list at least a few hundred, if not 1,000 people to reach out to in the beginning, just because not everyone's going to reply, right? And oftentimes when I speak to founders and they're telling me their outbound campaigns aren't working, my first question is always, how many did you send? And oftentimes the reply is something that is way too low, like 10 or 50. Outbound is really a game of volume.